Okay, I'm going to show you how to do a digital screen print inspired gradient artwork that kind of looks like Andy Warhol style. So the first thing you're going to do is to find a high contrast photo, and you can obviously increase the contrast in Photoshop. We're going to turn it black and white, and then we're going to apply one of these effects to give it more of a screen printed style. So we need to find an image, and I'm going to start with wrong website, pixabay.com, because it has really good high quality images, like I've told you before. And we're going to search. Animals are great. Andy Warhol did a series of endangered species, but it doesn't have to be an animal. Maybe I'll do something different. I kind of like those vintage hotel signs. We'll see if I can find something that I like here. Ooh, now we're getting close. Maybe we'll do this one right here. All right, so I'm going to do free download. I always choose the largest size for the best quality. And now I'm going to go to Photoshop, and I'm going to open that file. With Pixabay, you do have to log in with your Google account to access that, but that's really easy to just use your school email. All right, so I just did File Open, and now I'm going to turn it black and white. And my favorite way to do that is with Control-U, Hue and Saturation, and turn the saturation all the way down. If you're in the newer version of Photoshop, you can also go to Image, Adjustments, Black and White, but that's not in the older version. So now I want to increase the contrast. I'm going to do Levels, Control-L, and I'm just going to drag it so I have some bright whites and some blacks. Okay. Now I'm going to start to show you the different options for editing this. So the first one is we're going to go to Image, Adjustments, Threshold, and this is going to make the image just black and white. And you can drag this to adjust how much darkness there is. So that would be all right, but I think on this photo, there's not enough going on in the background. It's a little bit boring. So you may want to try multiple options so you can pick which one works best for your image. So I'm going to do Control-Z to undo. Maybe. There we go. Now I'm going to go to Filter and Pixelate, and I'm going to do Color Halftone. And you can adjust the size of your pixel. So I'm going to do just the default 8 for now. That works all right. But let me show you how you can adjust it. So you have to go back down again if you want to make a change. Let's try putting in like 25, putting in a big pixel. So you see the larger the size of your pixel, the more distorted it gets. But that's kind of fun. So that's an option for you. And then the last one, Filter, Pixelate, and Mezzotint. Mezzotint is another type of printmaking. You can see it makes it out of lots of tiny dots that are a little bit irregular. So you can play with that. And I think on this particular image, the one that looked the best was the Color Halftone. So I'm going back to apply that again, and maybe I'll do like 17, split the difference there. Okay, so after you've decided which one looks the best, we're going to unlock the layer. I just double click on it, hit OK. And we're going to find an area that's bright white. Select that with the magic wand tool. W key is the shortcut there. And I'm going to go to Select Similar. So it has all the white selected. And now I'm just going to hit Control X to delete. And I'm left with just the black dots. I'm going to make a new layer that's behind. I'm going to drag it under. And now I'm going to go to my gradient options. So in the newer version of Photoshop, there are a lot more gradient options for you to look at. They're sorted mainly by color. So you can click on that and see if there's one that you like. And then you also have the options up here. You can make your gradient go from left to right, be circular, you know, all these different options. So just try one out, click and drag. And then the angle that you drag is going to affect how your gradient looks as well. So you can play around with those. When you find one that you like, you're going to do File, Save As. And then you're going to actually have 4 different versions of this. So I'm going to save it as Motel 1 whenever this decides to cooperate here. Save on my computer. Motel 1, and I'm going to pay attention to where I'm saving it. So you should have a folder where you save all of your Photoshop assignments. You can just call it graphic design or whatever. Just make sure you know where it is. And I'm going to save it right there. I'm going to keep it as a PSD for now. All right. So the other thing I wanted to show you is that you can make a custom gradient. So down where you select your colors, you can pick any color combination that you like. Just think about like what colors you think will kind of look good together and blend well. And then if you go to basics, it'll show the gradient that you designed. Okay. So then I'm going to save this as Motel 2. I'm going to do a different gradient now so I can get 4 different combinations. Motel 3. You can make gradients that have more than 2 colors, but I'm just going with 2 for now, keeping it a little bit simpler. Let's try greens. No, I don't like those. Okay, make my own again. Oh, I accidentally made one with 3 because the colors mixed and made a different color in the middle. Okay, so File, Save As, Motel 4. Okay. The next thing I want to do is divide this into quarters. So this appears to be, ooh, that's tricky. We're going to resize this a little bit to make it an even size. So let's try, we're going to do image size instead. There we go. We can make it 12 by 9, and then it'll be a lot easier to resize this. So you can see close up the color halftone. It's not just black and white. You can make it pure black if you want to. I could do Control U, turn the saturation all the way down again, but I think it's fine either way. Okay, so I'm going to merge these 2 layers together. So I selected both of them and I did merge. Now I'm going to do Control T, and I'm going to go until it lines up. You can see when it hits 6 by 4.5. If you have trouble getting that exact, you can drag these first. Drag your little guidelines with your ruler. You just click on the ruler and drag down till it's there. And then when you resize, it should just jump straight to it. Okay. So now I'm going to open my other ones, Control O. And then I'm going to flatten those ones and then drag them over. Control Shift E is the shortcut to flatten. Then I just get my move tool, drag and drop it, Control T to resize. And then just click off of it to apply. So I'm done with that one. I don't need to save it again. Whoops. button, the wrong one, Control Shift E. I can drag this one over, resize that. And then the last one, Control Shift E, drag that over, resize it, and then you're going to save the whole thing as a JPEG. And that is what you will turn it. All right, File, Save As. Change Photoshop to JPEG. Morris Warhol Hotel. And you're good to go. Turn that in.